I could do with going on a cruise and I don't know where to go. Oh, hello, Ray Franklyn here. Just thinking out aloud how much I would like to go on a cruise. Have you been on one? Well, I know that you can have short cruises, you can have cruises to nowhere, you can have cruises to somewhere, and you can have short and long cruises. So many choices, so many choices. I just didn't know which one to do. Oh, by the way, let me tell you, for this video, there's no one else here, so I have to play the role of the narrator, Noah, his family, and all the animals. And don't expect me to make the noises they make. And if I do, don't laugh. Well, I came across a wonderful, inviting, tempting cruise brochure. Here it is. 40 days and 40 nights cruise on board the Ark with Noah Cruises. Wow, how can you resist such a temptation as 40 days and 40 nights cruising? Now I'm going to be the narrator. Once upon a time, in a land beyond, lived a man named Noah and his family. They ran a small cruise ship company and their flagship was called the Ark. Business was not doing well, so Noah sent out an email across the land offering a free, that's right, a free cruise to every couple who wants to come. But there were no takers. I will show them, said Mr. Noah. And so what he did was to take his family and 2 of every animal and bird on the cruise. Please have your boarding passes ready and board the ship. We hope you enjoy your cruise and thank you for cruising with Noah Cruises. Your attention please, your attention please. The long-term weather forecast is that for the next 40 days and nights, we can expect heavy rainfall. We are unable to return to port due to severe flooding. In the meanwhile, do enjoy your cruise. After 40 days, Noah sent out a raven, which came back with nothing. Then sent out a dove, which came back with an olive branch. 7 days later, sent out the dove, and it didn't return. We found land! We can stretch our arms and legs. Thank you for booking with Noah Cruise Lines. Well, God told Noah he was going to flood the earth because the people were wicked. And he was to ask the people to come on board the boat and they would be saved from destruction. Well, as we know, God also asked Noah and his family to gather every animal and bird, 2 of each, and bring them onto the ark. When that was done, they were to close the door because then the rains will fall. So Noah did as he was told. He built the ark and he and his family were gathered together, and you may notice that the family's not very happy looking, not because of the instructions they got to do in building that ark and to go on for 40 days and nights in the rain, But because they were going to miss the big game at the weekend between the dinosaurs and the grasshoppers, which is a local annual event where everyone normally turns out for it. But sorry to say, they're going to miss it this year. Well, Noah and his family, they had their boarding passes because they can't get on board without showing their boarding passes. Next with their boarding passes, because you're shouting out, boarding passes, please, do have your boarding passes ready. We have Mr. and Mrs. Giraffe. Mr. and Mrs. Giraffe. Boarding passes ready, boarding passes ready. And yes, we have Mr. and Mrs. Elephant. So the elephants, they also went on board. Boarding passes ready, boarding passes ready. Do have your boarding passes ready. Come along now. The boat's ready to sail. So with their boarding passes came Mr. and Mrs. Lion, who joined all the others on board the boat. So our giraffes, our elephants, our lions, and all the others were safely gathered in, and Noah closed the door. Soon after, there was thunder, there was lightning, there was hailstones, there was heavy rain, and the water started to rise and cover the land. Soon it was rising much that it covered the trees. And it still rose and rose and rose until all the mountains were covered in water. Well, as we know, 40 days and 40 nights it did rain. How were they to know when the time was up? Well, clever Mr. Noah, he made a little notch in the boat for every day. But he had to be careful not to go too deep because he didn't want to go piercing outside and the water comes flooding in. But he kept a notch, one for every day and night. And he knew that 40 days and the 40 nights are up. And he sent out a raven. Well, eventually that raven, it flew back and nothing. So sometime later, Noah sent out a dove. And the dove, it came back with an olive branch in its mouth. Noah knew that the water was going down. So what he decided to do, wait another 7 days, and he sent the dove out again. But this time the dove did not return. Maybe because that dove found trees, land, and he settled there. Well, Noah decided it must be safe, and he opened the door and he called all the animals in his family to come out. So, Mr. and Mrs. Lion, they came out. Mr. and Mrs. Elephant, they came out. Mr. and Mrs. Giraffe, they came out. Noah and his family came out. But not the dove, because the dove was gone. What's that? The dove's inside. No. Oh, look. No. There's no dove inside. I can see. There's definitely not. You saw the dove. No, you did not see the dove. Look, let me show you. The dove is not there. That's only the fishes that lived in the water. So, you think that the dove is still inside? No, 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 no. I assure you, there is no dove in... Oh, you saw that, didn't you? Well, show you, the dove is not there. P-T-O. Oh, please turn over. Well, I can tell you the dove's not on the other side, but you want to see. It says gone, because I told you the dove was not on the inside. It really had gone. Now, God also told Noah that he would put a sign in the sky, so when it rains and you see a rainbow, you will know that God promised he would never flood the world again. We've had floods since then, big floods, small floods, but never will he flood the whole world again. God is a man of his word. He gave those people opportunity to save themselves by going into the ark. And all they did was laugh and scoff. Laugh and scoff. They perished in that water. Their houses and everything was destroyed, and so were they. But God has promised never again. God wants you to accept him for who he is and for what he's done for you. He doesn't really ask much when you think about it. But our God is faithful and true to his word. We do have a loving God, a God that loves us and cares for us and wants only the best. And all we have to do is reach out and take what God is offering to you and to me. That's all. God has so much for you, and yet we say, nah, we don't need God. In fact, we don't even believe in you, God. But God believes in you. Even the devil believes in God. I ask you, take what God is offering you, his life, his peace, his joy, his happiness. Because God only wants the best for you. He wants you to share his heavenly home when that day comes, when he calls you. Are you ready to accept the call?